boy, oh boy. What a difference a year can make. Oh, it's Friday, it's Memorial Day weekend. And it seems like a lot of things aren't going right. So I figured, what the hell? Let me see if I still have access to StreamYard, and let's see if I can hijack the lounge. And no, that is not an exaggeration. I did not ask permission to be here. I just kind of went live. And, well, you see the topic. Why we need heroes. I think many of you know things are not all well. And it's a good time to remind ourselves why we need superheroes. Why their examples are so powerful to us. Because the truth is, times are going to come when life kicks you in the nuts, then stomps you in the nuts, and then shoves barbed wire up your rear end, and then forces you to watch a loved one get autopsied. Life can suck. And I think right now it's sucking for some of us. And I decided, since I can't reach some of you, why not just go live here? So I put a little gel in my hair, found my aviators, took a shower, took a shave, and decided to go live. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'll let this 30-second edit tell you all about me.
Get ready, get jiving.
Let's see if I remember how to do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and genders all across the spectrum, to this random-ass episode of Jiving with Jack. I recognize so many of you. I think I see some new people, some haters, some lovers. That's fine. But, yes, the big man is not here. And for those of you who know, stuff's happening. And I thought it was an important time. You know, I was sitting in my chair about to go to bed. And I said, you know what? Why do we need superheroes? Because when life gets hard, when life gets depressing, when we want to just blame ourselves and blame God for everything going wrong in life, we have examples of people who go through that stuff. That's why we read comic books. That's why we love superheroes. And it's not enough to just be strong. We have to be strong for other people. Anyway, that being said, I would like to bring in my former producer, Caden.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. So, yeah, listen, man, you and I have been talking to each other, and I know this is kind of an impromptu episode, and we were like, why the hell not we go live? Enosh had always said, look, your stuff is still there. He and I spoke a couple months ago. He's like, I have not deleted your page. You're welcome anytime. And I was like, you know what? Let's just go live. And you're welcome to join me. Yeah. So how have you been?
I mean, I've been doing all right. You know, like we had the phone conversation earlier. I'm sure a lot of people know that in March, the beginning of March, my grandpa passed away. And then late March, my grandma passed away. So it's been, you know, rough start of the year with that. But other than that, not other than that, but with that, I'm doing all right. Doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, like how much, you know, things can just change. As many of you know, or some of you remember, like we just started Jiving with Jack season 2, and then a bunch of things like hit me like a ton of bricks. My dad pulled a shoulder out. He got major surgery. He then got he got the flu, which, you know, isn't that bad. But when you're 71 years old, the flu is very dangerous. 4 trips to the emergency room, and pop culture was the last thing on my mind. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back at some point. And then I had an opportunity for a career change. And, you know, financially things had been sucky for a while. You know, not to get too personal, but, you know, when life hits you like a ton of bricks, like you just feel like so alone. And you've been there. I've been there. I know many of you watching have been there. And what did I do? I watched these movies, even the ones I hate, even the ones I'm sick of and I'm fed up of. I watched Miss Marvel. It was like eating my vegetables during church while doing algebra homework, but I did it. But even with shows I don't like, and I wasn't that impressed with, there's still a lesson there to be learned that even I, in my now mid 30s, am reminded of. I've been, believe it or not, the last year I've gone back to comic book collecting. I have not done that consistently since I left college. I have a stack of comic books that I have to read. I got back into Spawn, of course, Batman, Heavy Metal magazine, Caden. But
Oh yeah, I remember those conversations.
yeah, oh yeah, I got the latest issue right there. But I guess part of me, like I haven't seen anything past She-Hulk, which, believe it or not, I both loved and hated. There were episodes I loved, and there were episodes I hated of She-Hulk. But I haven't seen Guardians 3 yet. I haven't seen Ant-Man 3 yet.
I say prioritize Guardians.
Yeah, that's
and
the
then
thing.
maybe Ant-Man, and then Thor,
Yeah.
as the order to because Thor is one of those things where you can just if you're feeling really down and you just want to laugh, but also want to cringe at something, that's Thor. Same and then with Ant-Man, it's some of those things where it's if you just want to have an adventure, and you feel and you want to be energized. And with Guardians, if you want to feel sad and emotional, feel happy.
I've heard about the otter, and I know that story because I've read that story. Actually, no, I didn't. It was one of the Telltale games. They gave Rocket Raccoon's background with the otter. And at the end of the Telltale games, you can use some device to bring back someone. I brought back the otter, the little girl otter. But yeah, Quantumania is on Disney Plus. Maybe I'll watch that. I think I'll see Guardians. Last week I ended up seeing Fast X. I was drunk while I was watching it, but that's fine. I still enjoy it. I think I usually go into Marvel movies and superhero movies a little bit wasted so I can just enjoy it. But guys, yes, this is a very, very impromptu episode. I did kind of sort of get permission from William because William is supposed to go live tonight, and he may still go live tonight. Depends, circumstances are weird. And I said, you know what? Let me call Austin. He didn't answer my phone. So then I called about 50 other people, and then finally I landed on Caden. And no, I'm just kidding.
It's well, it went straight to voicemail when you call Austin.
Yeah, it did go straight to voicemail, like bastard. But I was like, you know what? I always had the open invitation from Enosh. My life's in a way better place than it was a year ago. Both you and I have been through some stuff, in our own ways, and it's rough. And then we remember that the people that adorn my wall, the books we read, the movies we watch, their whole lives are about bad things happen to them, and yet they persevere. That's what it means to be a hero. That's what makes Batman Batman. Yes, he has martial arts training, and all that stuff, but that line from Batman Begins, it's not the training, it's the will. Peter Parker, one of the greatest characters ever written, not comic book characters, one of the greatest characters ever written. His life goes from one train wreck to another. And a lot of you watching right now think that, hey, you know what? I'm going through my own stuff right now. And these comic book movies, these books, these TV shows, as good or bad as they are, they're a constant reminder that, hey, we can be better. It doesn't mean that tomorrow will get better or the day after. We have to be better. And that's a hard lesson to swallow. I see some names. Anthony Beltre, good to see you, man. Tis I, Sri, good to see you. That dude, Vincent. I remember all of you guys. Anchorman. Do I remember Anchorman? I remember that emoji. RJ's here. Yes, we're not going to talk about it, but we're just going to try to be positive and we're going to try to reach out to each other. That's what the show's about. Let me see. Who else we got here? I got RJ. I see Matt Jarbo. Matt, is so good to see you. Where'd Matt Jarbo go? There we go. At Cell with Caden for a K, Mask of Shy. Good to see you. You were missing, what's her name? The Australian girl.
Erin?
I'm talking about Erin. Yeah. She actually, she's the only person who watches the lounge or the Poindexter Pantheon or lounge, or whatever we call it, that I'm so kind of in communication with. But I'm just so glad to see all of you here. And yeah, who is, Caden, your favorite? Can someone text? I'm going to text her right now. I'm going to text her right now. Everyone stop the show. I'm live. Come join. Got to make everyone back here. Who was that one guy that was always like threatening to sue Enosh? Do you remember him?
Benson?
Benson. Whatever happened to him?
I don't know.
Like, I'm going to sue you, Enosh. I'm already talked to my lawyers. I'm going to call my lawyers, Enosh, and we're going to sue you because you're being. I was like, God, that's look, if you're like that, you should not be on the internet. This is a very scary place. People are going to make fun of you, and they're going to hate you, and that's why Caden, hashtag find Erin, folks. Get it trending on Twitter. Hashtag find Erin. Her name is, what is her name on Twitter? Everyone should just tweet at her.
I don't know.
I know her name on Twitter. Erin _R_joy. There we go. Oh yeah, this was so this guy, he used to always call on my show. He was like when I was at the Pop Culture Corner with Ty, who's by the way killing it. By the way, Ty, I'm so proud of you. You're killing it with the whole UFO thing. I love it. I'm watching it. But like he would always like try to start fights with you, and then he would threaten to sue you. Like, I've already called my lawyers. It's just, he never did anything. He was like, you're making jokes about me and stuff. Like, this guy was like trying to start fights by attacking people. And if you said something else back to him, he would like, this is like a year and a half ago. This is like right before we like Jiving with Jack and Brian Master of None and William, we kind of all did the Pantheon thing, but oh, thank you. It's Chris, the bipolar guy. So great to see you. I'm so glad some of you remember me. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, they ain't gonna remember me. Oh, we're missing something. It's not Jiving with Jack without a little sleaze. There we go. Or how about this? I don't know, Caden, which one did you hate the most? The woman suntanning lotion? There we go. But
which one did I hate?
It's funny. Enosh tweeted a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago that someone, like one of the parents from the school he was teaching at, was like, "Oh, his show is very suggestive, and his show has too much sexual content." I'm like, "What are they doing there with that be?" I still haven't done my logo yet. I already paid for it. I just haven't put it up yet because I'm so scared that anyone's gonna see the guy.
I remember that.
And
I remember what your idea was for it too. The lady in the guitar.
I don't have her number. Oh wait, no, I do have her number. Wait. I do have Erin's number. She gave it to me a very long time ago. Not like that, you perverts. Erin. I swear to God, she gave me her number a long time ago. We actually, to stay in touch. But Alistair 6531. How's it going? What happened to Austin?
Who knows?
Personal stuff happened. That's all I'll say. Nothing between me and him. He's, same thing with me. Like, we didn't leave because we hated Enosh or anything like that. No, it's just that stuff happened, and like one thing happened. Same thing with you, Caden. Like one thing happens, then another, then another, then another, and then like the last thing on your mind. Like I think I saw the Batman in theaters, and like I didn't think I went to the movies for months after that.
Jeez, I can't remember like exactly like everything that happened in the past year.
Yeah. I mean, last time I saw
a lot. That's the weird thing, like that. A lot of stuff has happened in a span of a year.
Yeah.
Like in the span of a year, a lot has happened. Like it feels like 3 years has happened of just the amount of stuff that's happened.
Great question, Siri, because you'll think about it. Caden, you, me, and Austin were together going back to what, 2020 almost?
Almost. Well, yeah, I think 2020 was when I joined Pop Culture Corner.
Yeah.
Right after Austin did.
Exactly. Yeah, and then I was doing TY's Corner. That became Jiving with Jack. But you have to remember, that was right out of the pandemic. So a lot of us were just sitting at home. So I wasn't really working. I worked some hours. Caden, you were still in school. Austin, I think, was working from home. So, like, we were at a place, and all of a sudden 2022 comes along. The pandemic is more, okay, we use that word. The contagion, as I used to say it, because we didn't want to use that word to not get in trouble. all of a sudden, like, yeah, I needed to find a better job. I saw an opportunity, like after the stuff that happened with my dad. Luckily, he's doing fine. I was like, all right, I see an opportunity, but I'm going to have to dedicate myself 4 months of training. I got my first job, and I've been doing it ever since. And I was just like, oh, one of these days I'm going to come back to the Poindexter Lounge. I'm going to bring Jiving with Jack back. But, like, I saw 2 episodes of Kenobi. I saw 3 episodes of Andor. You know, like, I'm so, like, disconnected with everything. And, like, right now I'm watching old shows, you know. I watch Picard. I watch Star Trek Picard every single week. Is Brian still, all of you who watched the lounge, is Brian Master of None still here? He did this, what was it called? The Trek Lounge? No, there was something, he had a thing. I made the ad. Where's the ad I made? 10 forward. Here we go. Do you guys remember the ad I made? Here we go. You ready for it, guys? This was the ad I made last, like a year and a half ago.
It's finally here. New voices, new faces. Welcome to the Pantheon.
Are any of those people left?
I mean, like I said on the phone, I think it's pretty much William.
So, you mean, I know William goes live, and then I guess, you know, I've been.
And then Enosh's Sunday streams.
Of course, yes, I watch those sometimes. 2020, we were all together, and yeah.
I mean, yeah, March. I mean, I always think this is the craziest, like, introduction / origin story of me going into this atmosphere of the internet.
Yeah.
Is through, you know, Lightcast and the Culture Nerd, into which I found Ty, and then me and Ty have been talking throughout, like, the start of Pop Culture Corner, when it was.
How mad would Enosh be if we brought Ty on? No, he wouldn't be mad, but I don't think Ty would come on. But yeah, for me, I think it was this movie right here. I had opinions. I was sitting on my butt, and Ty was like, "Hey, do you want to come on as a fan of Zack Snyder to talk about his movies and why you're interested in the Snyder Cut?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then I became a producer. I didn't produce crap,
right?
Except that movie theater thing. That was all me. That was pretty cool, man. But yeah,
I remember when we were supposed to do that Snyderverse documentary with Ray Porter.
He did it, folks. We did it. We did the first 3 episodes. Ray Porter recorded chapter 5 called Hallelujah. I wrote that script in 3 days.
But it never got out.
No, but you know what?
Only the first 2 episodes.
And I'm tempted because I wrote that script. What if I did the Jack Sheriff cut? No, why not? You know, I got the girl who
the Jack cut,
the sheriff cut. Yeah. Or as my dad calls him, Jack Schneider. That's my dad and his terrible heating. It looks like, RJ, it's so good to see you, my friend. Thank you for the warning up there. That's not where we were going, but I'm glad you said that up early. That's not what we're doing here today. But we're just trying to, you know, hey, I'm having a great weekend. I just closed a big deal, the biggest deal of my life in my job, and I've just been pumped. I just got my deck remodeled. I'm doing a big barbecue, and I was like, I'm missing something. And I see all the stuff that's going on, and those of you who are in the know, you know. And, you know, hey, let's keep the lounge alive. RJ, it's so good to see you. So yeah, Austin, he's stuff. That's all I'm going to say. You know, nothing with me or Caden or Enosh or anything like that. You know, just like us, stuff.
Everything to do with you, RJ.
Yeah,
like it's all you, RJ. It's all your.
That is true. It is true.
I remember when we used to always say it's RJ's fault for everything.
Yeah, you know what's funny with Austin? I did speak to him. It's just it's hard to get a hold of him. You know, like you got to call him like 57 times, text him 600 times. I think it was around Thanksgiving. Him and, you know, his significant other, they're very happy. They're just living their life, you know. And he had intimated to me that, you know, all of a sudden he's kind of like falling out of in love with the MCU. And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of there with you. You know, I'm watching it, but I'm not. It's, you know, it's like that dirty magazine, you know, once you've seen it too many times, it just doesn't, you know. do the same thing for you. But here we go. Hate is useless. Yeah. I'm critical. I'm very critical of Star Wars and MCU and DC and all that, but never hateful. You can admit something. Look, I was a big fan of Brie Larson. She was great in Fast X. I don't know if you saw this. She was one of the best. She was great in Fast X, and I was like, I liked her in this movie. She's got it. But someone is Chris is trying to reach RJ. My bad. I thought it was I'm sick of you ignoring me. Damn, man. Look, you know how busy RJ is? I mean, honest. Great. He produced multiple shows. You know how busy he can get, you know?
Yeah. I mean, RJ,
like a fighter pilot.
RJ has officially left the internet, apparently.
Yeah. He has.
I mean, not apparently, but...
he's here right now. Life gets us. It's fine. I like I always wore aviators because of the new Top Gun, but then two other people do it. That guy, he's like right wing. What's his name? I think he's not right wing, but like he's Scottish. The Critical Drinker.
Oh, yeah.
He wears aviator. I was like, crap.
Damn it.
It's like, and then the Minty guy, Minty comedic. He does like 10 things you probably didn't know about movies. He wears them. But I was like, there's room enough for us. The president wears them. You know, he's an aviators guy, so whatever. You know, these are classic. They're old school.
So you're saying that this is Dark Jack?
Yeah, Dark Jack.
No, what would Jack's dark branded persona be?
Oh, you know what? That was me in high school. I went through a goth phase. I still have my trench coat from that time. My black fingernail polish. I had like the rings from Hot Topic.
I can see it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I looked good, you know. But like life wasn't going the way it was, and I wasn't getting the type of girls I wanted, and you know, I lost it. Right, when I went to college, I just went back to the polo shirts, and you know,
you needed a superhero.
I needed a superhero, and that's why they're important to us. Caden, I've never asked you, but who is your favorite superhero?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. There
you go. And the Flash.
And the Flash. Yep, I got my tickets for opening night for that movie. That one I'm excited about. It's pure nostalgia to see Michael Keaton again because I watched him as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah,
every Christmas
is watching
Batman Returns.
Yeah,
when I was a kid.
Yeah,
in Oklahoma, when we go to my mom's parents, we would always watch Batman Returns.
You know, it's funny. I actually remember watching Batman Returns as a kid and remember not loving it as much as I liked the first one because the first one was more of an action movie. The second one is definitely more of like an art house film. It feels more like a Tim Burton film. And even to this day, I think the second one's a better movie, but I like watching the first one more. It's more fun, you know?
I think I love watching Batman Returns because once it's a great movie. Two, it also, you know, gives me that feeling of being with my grandparents, like at my mom's place. Not that they're not here anymore; they're here still. But it's just like when I'm not in Oklahoma and I'm here in California, that I'm able to have that feeling again.
Exactly, man. That's what film does for us. That's what TV shows do for us, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I still think that that was the best Bruce and Selena we got in the live action. We've had 3 so far. You know, we've had Christian Bale and Anne Hathaway. And while
was weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
I felt like it was weird because I'm so used to Anne Hathaway playing the young adult like older teenager characters, and when she played that character, I was just like, no.
Yeah. I'm curious where Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz are going to go.
I like the start of it.
I like the start of it because I feel like it's hard to judge that one because it's a late
because it's not as deep as Keaton and Pfeiffer were.
Oh, there was some. I was watching that scene again. You know when they have the dance floor.
Yeah.
And she's like, they have a queen size up in bedding. What do you say? It's like, I think we should take our costumes off. Like, there's some great charged dialogue in there. Hey, Anchorman loves Star Wars. Top 3 gun jiving. Yeah. Does Jack like the Phantom Menace? Is that like the really hateful part of the Star Wars fan base?
Yeah. That's like the geeks and gamers and Doomcock. Well, I wouldn't say geeks and gamers always hate when people say that they're part of the Phantom Menace still.
Geeks and Gamers, is that the one guy? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of listen to him sometimes.
Jeremy Griggs.
He's got like a crazy beard and glasses.
Oh, that's Nerdrotic.
Nerdrotic, yeah. He goes a little too far sometimes, but I listen to him sometimes if he's got a good point about something. There's another guy who goes a little too far. Ryan, it's like
Ryan Kennel.
Kennel, yeah.
Outpost.
Yeah. They're all part of the same kind of like,
Yeah.
like
they
all
do
like
this stream on Fridays called Friday Night Tights.
Yeah, I don't watch that. I just watch like like even Drinker. I'll watch their like 5-minute clips. I'm like, I agree with you. I disagree with you. They are releasing the sequel trilogy. I wish. No, but oh my God, Rey Skywalker is getting a trilogy. Kate, how much did you pay for this to happen?
I paid billions and billions of dollars for all of these movies that are about to happen for Marvel, Star Wars, and DC to happen. So, and then they're paying me back in millions of dollars to give them good reviews and good praise.
There you go.
So that's my secret. Don't wear it out.
Fingers crossed. I wasn't a big fan of that. I was not a fan of that trilogy, but I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. They could give her the justice that she deserves.
I think honestly,
Ridley is a great actress. If you've seen other stuff of her, she's good. Give her room to breathe with some better writers who have a vision across 3 films. Don't make it up as you go.
I guess I'm canceled because I used Kang.
Oh, Shri, did we have this conversation about you, whether you were a boy or a girl? Kane,
no,
who was that?
That was it was the person that also like really was into Scream.
Yeah, into Scream. And I just assumed he was a girl for the longest time. And it's like, no, I'm a dude. I'm like, oh, not anymore. Not in my head. And I said, a Japanese sounding name. I was like, no, you're my fan
like
girl.
It was like it was like
Kasuka, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, whatever. So Shri, I don't know if you're, but let me tell you this. There used to be a club called the Club Shampoo in Philly, and on Wednesday nights they had a place called the Nocturne. That place is gone now. Clubs are dying out in Philly, but it was all goth. They had 3 levels, and the cool thing about goths is they don't really dance well. So you could just do whatever you wanted, and you were cool. And it was one of the coolest places I'd ever been to. Last time I went to was in college. All black, all decked out. Katsuka. There you go. Oh, man.
Yeah.
We all go a little goth sometimes. I kind of miss all of that. It's what I call a comfort film. Memories associated with certain places and certain people. Yeah, there's a lot of bad movies that I like. I'm not saying Batman Returns is a bad movie, Caden, but there's so many movies that I like that aren't good, but I associate them with a time and a place when I watched them. And as bad as they are, I enjoy watching them again and again and again. Do you have any movies like that?
I do. And I'm trying to honestly, I'm trying to remember why some of these films were like that for me. Or if they were just something, like the Son of the Mask, like the Mask sequel.
Yeah,
that movie is not it's a terrible movie.
Yeah,
but there's something to it that that I'm just I can watch that and feel good.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I don't know.
RoboCop 3. PG-13 RoboCop is a terrible film, but I saw it in theaters when I was 5, and it left me cheering, and even now to this day, when RoboCop 3 is on, I'm like, I enjoy it. I have no hate towards it. I'm like, it's a great movie. I enjoy it. It is a terrible film, but it just takes me back to when I was, 5 years old. My parents took me. We didn't live in a house then. We lived in an apartment, and, oh, yeah. Yeah, what happened here, Caden? I kind of followed it. Now, this is a Jiving with Jack topic. Not to cancel Caden, but, is he out?
No.
He got me too, didn't he?
Officially, as we know, he is not out as Kang.
Okay.
But, there's mixed, things in, the that scooper leaker area where people, so most of them are saying no, there it hasn't been, and then some of them who are like,
Yeah.
they're saying he can be. It's just who
Has
knows.
what has been said about him? I mean, I know it's harassment and stuff like that.
Well,
Has
so
anyone
what started it?
or-
What started it was this girl who worked on Ant-Man 3, who he started dating, um, at,
Okay.
and they were in New York and for a night out, and then basically she said that he like beat her up, put her up, and like choked her against the wall and all this stuff, and we're all like, oh my god, like wow, this is crazy. And he was arrested, and then he was released that same night, and but then like, the following day or the following weeks, uh like people in New York on Twitter were like, oh yeah, Jonathan Majors is a menace in New York, like no one likes him in New York, anyone who has had experience doesn't like who he is, um and then but then we find out that that girl was lying. But the thing was, is not. But the thing was, even though she lied, 5 other women came out and said that yeah, like he has been abusive.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, it's like I was saying this to my family. I was like, it's crappy that like someone lied about what you did to them, and like and did that to themselves and did all these terrible things to themselves that, and then but then for that to happen, 5 other people or 3 other people came out and said, "Oh yeah, this is like what he did to me as well," even though what started is a lie, and even like to
Really?
open the lie
Well,
opened a Pandora's
the other
box.
women who came forward, were they saying like it was abuse, like physical, or was it like, oh, he's just a jerk, he's abusive
The first
verbally?
the first one came out and well, the thing was is that she said that it was physical abuse, that
Yeah.
he's um and, and they were at a club partying, and then like they got into an argument inside the club or restaurant, whatever, and then they were walking out, and he put his hands around her neck and like put her up against the wall, and then said, "Let's go." And then they went into a car, and he beat her up in the car as they're going to, like before they even left. And then he walked out of the car, left, and then she went out of the car and was like sat there and cried and whatever. But then the driver, who said that that didn't happen at all, and then also the cops that she called were helping her, like basically like set up the scene as to look like he did do something to her. So it's like this whole thing where it's like the cops are helping her like lie about this thing, and it was just like
Was she by any chance Jussie Smollett? Juicy Smollett, I think that's what we call him.
Jussie Smollett.
Dundo says, finally we're canceling Caden. I'm pulling his 2012. He's technically canceled, I believe. Caden, aren't you?
What
From
do you
the
mean?
Poindexter Lounge.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were told to go away and never come back. I don't know.
By some old moderators,
Ah,
but they're not here anymore. And
good. Well, you
me
know what?
and
I
Ash
was never gonna let
talked
you go. I was gonna
before.
Caden and Austin are my guys, and yeah, they're controversial, which is why we bring them on Jiving with Jack. We are the anti-cancel culture show here on Jiving with Jack. But Mike Flanagan is doing a Clayface movie set in Matt Reeves' universe. Interesting. Who is Mike Flanagan? Why do I know that name?
Mike Flanagan did Doctor Sleep, and he also
Oh,
did the Haunting on the Hill House Netflix,
TV series. That was excellent.
and
That
then
was excellent. That was a good show. The Midnight Mass was that. I think I started that show. That was set like on a small island or something, But hey, guys, welcome here. Caden is deported from my channel.
wow.
You can't deport
Isaac, I don't even think Isaac has a channel anymore.
No.
So I don't know what he's
Who's
talking
Isaac? But Anthony, you asked a question earlier. I didn't mean to skip you. You had asked what were the top 3 movies I saw last year. Caden, why don't you start? What were the
about.
top
Top
movies?
3 movies of last year.
Three movies, I guess, last year or that you've seen in the last year. Maybe both. Let's start with 2022 and let's go to 2023. It doesn't necessarily have to be a movie that maybe came out this year. It could be a movie that you just discovered this year.
2022.
I know. I'll tell you my number one choice. This is Top Gun. Blown Away.
Top Gun is definitely one of them.
I did not love Doctor Strange 2. I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. God, I didn't go to the movies at all last year. 2021, I saw 40 movies in theaters.
Wow.
I just went every weekend. Just any movie that was out, I just went and I saw it. But like, 2023, like life hits you right, and I just didn't see any movies. I'm trying to think, what did I see?
Megan was really good.
I heard Megan was good. Oh, the other movie that was all filmed on like an iPhone. It was like done like this, like through Zoom, and like a girl, her mom disappears. Turns out her mom.
Oh, The Missing.
The Missing. Was that what it was called?
I think that's what it's called, or Missing, or something like that.
That was really good, and it was all done through Zoom, like people on their iPhones and stuff. And she tries to track her mother down. Why would her mother do this? And there's a lot of twists and turns along the way.
Right.
Oh, that was a good movie. That was
with Storm Reed.
Storm Reed, I think that was her name. I don't know. Storm Reed. While I'm looking this up, Caden, how excited? That's the girl. That's the girl missing. Yep. How excited are you, Caden, for the Little Mermaid?
I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it come out yet?
Yeah, it comes out. It came out today.
Oh, Rotten Tomatoes. The thing that killed the DCEU. Rotten Tomatoes.
The thing that's currently killing the Weeknd's acting career.
Oh, really? Didn't he change his name? That was something we would talk about on Giant Jack. He's getting rid of his name.
He's getting rid of the moniker of the Weeknd, and he's going by his normal name, his regular name, Abel.
Abel, yeah. But yeah, I forgot how to share the screen. Oh, here we go. Share screen. Folks, I literally spent like 10 minutes trying to figure this out. Okay. This is better than I expected. I thought it was going to get trashed. I know that Peter and Wendy didn't do well.
Did you watch Peter and Wendy?
No.
I didn't either. I didn't even...
As soon as I saw an Indian Peter Pan, I'm like, nope. And I can say that because they're my people. And apparently, so is Tizai Cherie. Cherie, do you speak Hindi at all? I don't know. Morbius swept the Oscars.
But
from terrific. But yeah, okay. It doesn't look too bad. Hey, you know what? If young
audiences are loving it.
Audiences are loving it. Audiences are stupid, Caden. Audiences thought that Fast X was good, and I enjoyed Fast X, but I know it's a dumb movie. It's a dumb movie. I was like, whatever. I want to see Vin Diesel be Vin Diesel, I want to see Vin. Yeah, The Rock showed up at the end. Everyone started applauding at that. I have not seen Morbius. Flash projected for 70 million. Is that kind of low?
Yeah.
That's kind of low. So Fast X opened at 70 as well, which is not good.
Well, for a domestic blockbuster opening, it's not. Yeah. But the thing is that usually studios do project lower. So then if it does higher than, let's say, if it does 100 million in opening, they'd be like, wow, it did 30 million plus our projected opening. And if it does exactly 75 million, it'd still be like, oh, but that's the thing. They always go low for the low and like
it's smart. It's capitalism.
And especially when they're like 3 weeks ahead of the movie releasing, they usually do that buildup of, oh, here's 70 million. Oh, the next week we hear that actually it's 85 million. And then the week of the movie, we hear, oh, it's actually 105 million is the projected opening. And it'd be like,
I have fingers crossed. Did you see the Todd McFarlane Batwing for like $500 that he released? I'm like, oh my God. I used to have one of them from the original 1989 line and the mask, and my mom threw it away. Tony Movie says Morbius was... I did not see Morbius. Was it really that bad?
Terrible.
Okay,
Morbius was like the worst.
So it wasn't like Venom, which got bad reviews and people still enjoyed.
Yeah, it was not like that. It was like where people were like making fun of the movie.
Holy shit! I speak Hindu, Tamil. I don't know what Kannada is. Telugu, Punjabi, Gujarati. I can understand Punjabi a little bit. I can speak Hindi, but that was pretty good. All right, cool. And English, well, obviously. Yes.
I cannot speak English,
cannot speak
and I
English.
do not understand English at all. I only speak gibberish.
Gibberish, yeah. But yeah, no. I got a new car, right? And I have it detailed every week by this Honduran family that runs a car wash, and they come to my house every weekend and they wash my car. Don't speak a word of English. I'm speaking to them in broken Spanish and using Google Translator, but it's kind of bringing up like, my 3 years of Spanish honors that I took. I'm like, all right, yeah. Born and raised in India. Okay, cool. You said you're not there anymore, though, right? Yeah. Well, stop the show until we have an answer, Shuri.
I also speak Dora.
Oh, they made a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. That was like a sequel to the show. I think Netflix did it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
I
didn't watch it.
Like you know how like Power Rangers looks low budget already, like with like the show. This one looked like they spent like $1 on it.
Yeah. Speaking of the CGI stunts, isn't me or the Michael Keaton Batman stunts a little too cartoonish with the way he's moving? It's not that he's 70 years old, whatever. They can say a whole thing like the suit helps him or whatever. But when he's like flipping around and everything, I'm like, he just looks so fake. And has anyone noticed that at his mask, you can see the bottom of his nose? Have you noticed that in the trailers?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of better when like the nose is covered. But yeah, Michael Keaton's the reason. It's funny. A year ago, we were talking about whether this movie would have any attention at all because of all the stuff that was happening with Ezra Miller. Am I wrong in assuming that people just kind of don't care about it anymore? Like all the accusations, the grooming, and him acting like a wimp.
I think it's just
arrested. People just don't care. They're like, whatever.
I think with that, it's kind of hard to tell with the conversation because it's like it's sometimes died down, but then like some people make it like as like as if like Twitter is talking about like 24/7 when honestly people are really not really talking about that anymore. They're talking about Keaton and Supergirl. Yeah. And
by the way, I am a verified member of Twitter. That's right, folks. I can afford $11 a month now. I got my name changed, the little check mark and everything. Yeah, you know what? I actually watched the Snyder Cut again about 2 weeks ago. I had to watch it in pieces.
I haven't watched it since it came out.
Really?
I don't think.
I watched it, and you know what? I still love it. I was waiting because when you watch something when it's new and fresh, it's like, oh my God, that was amazing. And then like months go by, you're like, okay, that wasn't that great. But you know what? I've rewatched it, and I'm like, every time that movie ends, I'm like, God, I want to see what happens next. But I think let's talk about the fandom. The Snyder, you get the Snyder fans and you have the Snyder cult. Do you think that by boycotting Black Adam, because I saw that happening, by boycotting, it looked like no one went to see Shazam, they kind of killed, not the Snyderverse, but they just killed that entire DC line of films? I think so. What do you think?
What do you mean?
Because they're rebooting, right? Didn't James Gunn come in? Isn't he rebooting everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it away. Henry Cavill's
Flash reboots the universe.
Yeah.
Like starts ends the DCEU. And then the Creature Commandos and Waller and Superman Legacy and Peacemaker start a new universe.
Yeah. Oh, D.W. McKay, good to see you, man. Yeah, you know what? But I think this is what the rumors were, and again, I wasn't following it much. That had Black Adam done well, they were just going to keep going with this timeline or this universe. But unfortunately, even with the Henry Cavill cameo, I know some people.
I think either way, like if Black Adam did well or not, they were going to reboot. But like, I don't think as much as they are right now. I think they would have just been like, okay, cool, Black Adam did well.
Yeah.
We're going to do this new universe with more of these characters rather than not do with anything with them at all.
Oh, it's a shame because you know what? I watched Black Adam and I didn't mind it. I think it was great, but I was
My
okay with
family hated it.
it.
My family says it's the worst movie they saw of last year.
I would have gotten rid of the kid character. That opening sequence where they're playing dun, 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 paint it black.
Yeah.
And he's blowing up stuff. I thought it was kind of badass. I kind of liked it. I'm a 2000s kid. I'm kind of a sucker for when they play music over action sequences. But yeah. Yeah, because Brandon Routh is this Christopher Reeve Superman. I read that they got the rights to Christopher Reeve's looks. I remember there were rumors that the Supergirl, the universe that Supergirl was going to be in was supposed to be Christopher Reeve Superman, but he was gone. But of course, we know that's not true. That was like one of them early rumors. I watched Black Adam and I kind of enjoyed it, but that was one of the movies I saw last year. That was like September, October.
Yeah, they watched it. I can't remember if they saw it in theaters or if they watched it on HBO Max. But my family was, especially my dad. He was like, that was terrible. Like, why did they let The Rock do this?
I think he had too much control. It's like the first 2 seasons of Picard. Patrick Stewart's like, I'm going to tell the stories that I want to. And they weren't good stories. They're like, you know what? Let's get a Star Trek writer to write the last season. And that's exactly what they did. Let writers write. Let directors direct. You're the actor. Speaking of which, is Peacemaker coming back? Because that was like the best thing that came out of that Peacemaker show. Start to finish was phenomenal. The soundtrack was amazing.
And for it to be James Gunn's first TV series to write, it is great. And I'm like, knowing James Gunn and with everything he's planning for the DC universe. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you worry about his ability to write characters that aren't necessarily in his milieu? Creature Command. I'm curious what he's going to do with Superman, but do you worry about him handling characters like Batman? You know, I know we have Matt Reeves' Batman, which is a separate universe. But at some point, he's going
to. I mean, based off of everything that he's announced and said, I think the only character that he's at least the big character he's worried about for him to write about right now is Superman. I think I think Andy Muschietti and Christina Hodson is doing the Batman movie.
Oh, did you see Shazam? I planned to see it.
I saw it
and went, and I didn't remember.
I saw it at the premiere.
What did you think?
I thought it was all right.
It was all right because I loved the first film, and Jack is he hates this lovey-dovey family fun thing. I'm like, no, that was done really well. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the F out of it.
Yeah, I wasn't like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. Like, this is the best sequel to but I wasn't like, this is the worst thing ever. Like, I was just like, this is pretty good. This is pretty okay.
You sound like Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm, but it was all right. Yeah. Apparently, during the last season of that, I know you don't watch that, but here we go. Siri is asking, Cade, may I ask why? May I ask why what?
Why what?
When they brought Henry in, I think Gunn was already working on the reboot. I thought it was a fun film. Oh, I guess why your family didn't like it, maybe?
Oh, I think they were just they were kind of didn't like that The Rock was trying to do everything and that the story was setting up something that it did not do. And they said it just wasn't good writing.
Yeah, it wasn't well written at all. I'll be honest with you. The big twist was that everyone thought that the little boy at the beginning was going to be Black Adam, but it turns out Black Adam was the little boy's father. Remember, that was supposed to be the big twist? And I was like, the guy who plays his father looks just like Dwayne Johnson. And it was obvious he was the father. I think that was the only...
It was when they had Dwayne's face pasted on the guy, the twig guy.
Yeah.
And then they had us believe that that was The Rock if he was skinny. If you didn't
Yeah,
listen,
yeah.
that was wow. Really.
Anthony, you just brought up something phenomenal. I think the fact that Black Adam did not do well at all is the reason that's to happen. I
think,
thought The Rock was
well,
being a little bit too douchey. I mean, I'm not saying Vin doesn't have an ego, but like, come
right.
on, man. Like, they all.
I feel like it was Black Adam played a major part in the reason why he's back. But I think, honestly, I think the beef between Vin and Rock were so overplayed and on the
Maybe.
internet that it might have been just so small.
Like,
That,
like kind of like a wrestling thing. Like, maybe it's not as bad as people think it is.
yeah, even though, yeah, like Vin did like do that whole Instagram post about how calling out the Rock for the whole Paul Walker situation, and then the Rock was like, "How dare you bring my family into this?" and all that. Like,
Yeah, I felt like The Rock overreacted to that, and I'm a Rock fan going back to.
I feel like Vin and the Rock just should have not done that publicly at all. Like,
Yeah,
like if
The
you're
Rock
gonna
was missing sorely in the last film. What was it called? Fast 8, Fate of the
Fast
Furious,
9,
Fast 9 with John Cena.
well, was Jason Statham in Fast 9?
He's in the post credit scene. Han comes to meet him,
Oh, right.
and they're like, "Oh my god, that's the guy he killed," and But I'm thinking The Rock just kind of had a very humbling experience because he's been kind of going like this. And I predicted back on Pop Culture Corner, I'm like, oh yeah, Black Adam is going to be a $1 billion movie just because of The Rock. Because every time The Rock's in a movie, whether it's Jumanji or like, the San Andreas movie, like the guy's he draws an audience. This movie just didn't do it. It was shocking. And I was just like, I thought, even if I thought it was going to be bad, I was like, whatever, people will go watch it. They just didn't. And I don't know if like he's hit saturation because I think has he made anything since Black Adam? Because he usually makes like 12 movies a year, I feel like. And
What's crazy is that you had Gal Gadot say something about her return to Fast.
Yeah, she's back.
But The
Because
Rock,
when she
but-
died, she wasn't a big star yet.
but she didn't say anything about when she came back in Shazam 2. And then what's also funny is that The Rock didn't say anything about himself being in Fast X.
Yeah, he didn't.
So
I'm
it's just
wondering
like,
if that was filmed afterwards.
if what was?
That the Rock cameo was filmed after Black Adam bombed. Like he was like, "I'm not."
Yeah,
being
it was. It was filmed.
Okay.
It was filmed. Like literally a week before like the week that it was announced. It was filmed that week.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was, or like filmed a week before. It was filmed in like the last like month. It wasn't like something they filmed like in November or December or, it was filmed like literally in like the span of like a day.
Nighthawk. Sorry, I saw Nighthawk. Yeah, okay. Then what about the Gal Gadot thing? Because I feel like that one they were trying to plan because
that one was planned.
Because when she was
From the
killed off,
beginning.
I think that was Fast 6. I think it was Fast 6. This is before Wonder Woman. She wasn't the mega star that she is now. And they're like, oh, wow, we just killed off a really huge potential asset. You know what I mean? And they brought Han back, and Han and Gal had great chemistry together as a couple. I mean, these are not like Oscar written films, but, I'm glad she's back in that. I think she's a very charismatic actress, and that's very hard. There are actresses who are good at acting. There are actresses who are really good performers. She has a natural charisma about her. Same thing with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's not a great actor. He just has that personality about him, like Schwarzenegger or Stallone. You just like seeing these big bodies be bigger than life. Yeah, man, I'm actually thinking of doing that at some point myself. The Rock thinks he's a movie star. Well, I think he's big enough. I mean, he might be the closest. But who's the biggest movie star right now? He's probably the closest thing. We don't have that anymore, like that one actor that everyone. Some people say it's Tom Cruise. That Tom Cruise is kind of back with Top Gun. Mission Impossible is coming out. That's going to be the next big thing. And yeah, Gal Gadot. I've said this. Yeah, but like so these movies, Tony, they don't make that much money, but then they do really well on Redbox. I'm not kidding. Like in rentals, they do really well. Like these are movies that people wait till they're on Netflix or they're on Redbox, and Redbox is a big thing, especially in the big cities. People just go to the local grocery store. Oh, $1 to rent this movie starring The Rock, and they'll do it. So they make that money back. And yes, she is the most attractive woman in the world, I think. Tom Cruise, probably the biggest star, but like Caden, like, can you think of that? Like, are there any other actors maybe that you're like, oh, that actor's going to be in that next movie? It's going to be a big thing. I don't think that exists anymore.
I mean, I feel like, honestly, like,
yeah, not even Robert Downey Jr. Like outside of Iron Man, I know he's going to be an
I
Oppenheimer.
think, I think RDJ can definitely do that. Where if you were like say that RDJ is in joining the Fast and Furious universe, you would get like a lot of people be like, okay, I would.
Yeah, you're right.
Same
RDJ
with Tom Cruise. Same thing with Matt Damon. I think.
Guess what movie I just saw? Matt Damon.
Air.
Loved it. For those of you who don't know, Michael Jordan was my hero growing up. I watched Chicago Bulls religiously from when I was a little kid, like 3 years old, till when he retired when I was 10. Huge Michael Jordan fan. I loved The Last Dance. I loved it. I wear Air Jordans. They're the only sneakers I wear. I love that movie. And Matt Damon, have you seen it?
I haven't yet.
It's worth watching. It's really worth watching.
Did you watch it on Prime or did you watch it in theaters?
I saw it on Prime. I was planning on seeing it in theaters, but like a lot of movies I planned to see in theaters, I just didn't go see it.
Right.
Great movie. Will Smith probably was, because even like around Suicide Squad, he was still like
I still think that is the case.
Yeah.
I still think honestly,
He's
like if you say Will Smith, like honestly the first thing that came to my mind was Bad Boys
3
and
4.
Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
And then the third thing that I kept sitting here and waiting was like thinking of like Will Smith. Then finally the slap came up, but I think people
have to talk about Chris Rock's last special, my friend. Did you watch it?
I watched it,
and
well,
boy.
Ooh,
boy. I'm a Chris Rock fan. I've been watching Chris Rock since 1997.
Okay. So we'll definitely probably have different opinions on that.
Honestly, no, it was just brutal. It was just brutal, and that's it. Am I ever going to watch a Will Smith movie again? Of course not. I was watching Independence Day. I was like, man, I wish he was in the second one. I would love to see Will Smith come back to film. I think Will Smith should get his life in order. And
another person I think that like people will be like, okay, that'll be like a good movie if they sign on to this movie. That means the script is really good or the director they want to work with is really good. I think another person is wow, the name just blanked out of my head just now.
Give me a movie that person was in.
Bradley Cooper.
Okay.
Bradley Cooper. I think Bradley Cooper, if you said that Bradley Cooper will start in the next Star Wars film, people will go see it.
Absolutely. There are people who still have star power. But that the day back in the day where like, oh, that actor's going to be it. Like, I'm thinking of the times of like
when even like
the 80s and the 90s, the action hero. Like the movies weren't necessarily good, but they would make money because Arnold was in it. Arnold, he's going to kill 50 people with a machine gun. And people are like, yeah, Arnold. Kind of like a John Wick is probably the closest thing to that. Like just
and Keanu Reeves is another actor that I think people
he's had a huge comeback.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, everyone was making fun of him, saying he was a bad actor. Like,
I think okay, so there's movie stars that are dramatic and but the comedic movie stars that people go see.
Yeah.
I think is Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart has a comedic star power. And he's also starting this thing where he's getting to more drama stuff too, which like if you watch that Fatherhood movie on Netflix, it's so good.
Really?
Like Kevin Hart's like, oh my, it's like his drama, like the way
dramatic capabilities. Yeah, a lot of comedic actors like that. Robin Williams, is a drama actor. Everyone's like, oh, he's a funny guy. But like when you see those actors do drama, it's like
But
I'd love to
yeah,
see.
like I think there's a lot of comedy actors that like people will be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to see this. I wish Marlon Wayans would come back into the actual theatrical stratosphere because I think he would have a
He's an
good.
heir. He's an heir.
Yeah,
And
that's what I'm
he
like.
was
I
also
hope
in,
that starts his theatrical like up comeback of
what was
like
that movie with Jennifer Hudson? Oh, what was it called? It was about the famous singer, and I'm blanking on the singer's name.
Selena.
No, it was Aretha Franklin movie they made about her.
Oh, Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson. Oh, I think said Lopez. Hudson. Oh, yeah, Aretha. Respect.
Aretha. Yeah, Respect.
Yeah,
That's what it was called.
he was really good in
He was
Respect.
really. I didn't recognize him.
No,
That
me
that
neither.
is
I
Marlon
was
Wayans.
and like
Yeah.
he was really good in that. But yeah, I honestly think like yeah, like there is a lot of
Oh shit, we lost everyone. Everyone left. We started talking about Kevin Hart, and everyone left.
everyone's like, oh god,
Everyone's like, "Oh my god, this show's going on
the
too long."
the title is superheroes, and they're talking about actors that
Actors,
have
yeah.
star
Well,
power.
we kind of we talked about superheroes, but speaking of which, Kevin Hart and The Rock together. Have you ever seen like Central Intelligence or even like?
Central Intelligence came out Father's Day weekend.
Uh,
We saw it Father's Day weekend with my dad and my uncle,
I enjoyed
and
it. I only saw it once, but I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I enjoy it like whenever it's on TV. I'm like, okay, I want to watch this on like
Okay.
if I
Have you
was
ever
going through
seen them
TV.
snipping like The Rock and Kevin Hart back and forth to each other? Like the way they kind of go after each other?
Yeah,
Like one of my favorite ones, they're always on Graham Norton and they're just like he just makes so much fun of The Rock and The Rock makes fun of him. Like they have that natural thing. I'd love to see them. Well, Kevin Hart was in Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and Furious spinoff, and he was great in that,
he
Just
was.
yeah, he's in one scene in Hobbs and Shaw. He plays
Oh right,
the CIA
yeah,
agent.
he is. Yep, isn't he also like captured on the plane as well or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's a CIA guy, but yeah, comedians when they're doing dramatic roles, did RDJ have a comedic background, or am I making that up? I'm not saying he was a stand-up comic, but I think was he on SNL? Did I just make
No, he was not.
did I make that up?
He I mean, you can say Chaplin was kind of comedic for him,
Yeah, you're right.
but he didn't really have like. I mean, not
He was
really.
in one season of Saturday Night Live, 1985 to 1986. Yep.
He
Robert Downey
was?
Jr. was. He wasn't like famous on it though. Yeah, he did have a bit of a comedic bone. He kind of came from the world of comedy.
Yeah. I mean, you can say Tropic Thunder, of course, and Sherlock Holmes,
Mhm.
are the comedies of
Yeah.
his. Due Date with Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, I didn't see that. Any good?
It's good.
I always thought you mentioned Zach Galifianakis.
Oh right, he was in Weird Science.
Weird Science, but I always thought if they made a Horrible Bosses 3, they should put Kevin Hart in that somewhere. I always thought he'd be a great addition to that cast. I don't know if you've ever seen Horrible Bosses, but Tony Movie Chappie says, let's talk about superheroes. Question. Mary Dwight Schrute, do you still going to get Wonder Woman 3? I don't think so, but I would like to see Wonder Woman 3. I think Gal is just so great, but I don't know what happened with that second movie, man. It was just, I don't know. Do you think it was just the anti-BVS backlash? Like, we're going to not make a dark movie. We're going to make it like,
I don't know what it was. I just know that whatever Patty Jenkins thought she was doing was not a good idea.
Listen, Tony, any excuse to see Gal Gadot's thighs, if it's Wonder Woman 3, I'm in there. I'm down.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Due Date is hilarious. I haven't seen it. Is it on anything? Due Date? Due Date.
I think
that's in 2010. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx, Robert Downey Jr., Zach Galifianakis, Daniel.
It's on Vudu and Prime.
Everything's on Vudu.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty good.
It's really funny.
I gotta see it. Comedies are so rough for me. Like I just don't laugh. I think the last comedy that made me that I went to theaters and I saw and I grabbed my side laughing in tears was The Hangover, and that was like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Oh, Keeping Up with the Joneses. Is that the one where she's a CIA or like? Hold on, Keeping Up with the Joneses. Keeping Up with the Joneses. Yeah,
That's
and
also
their
Zach.
new neighbors are spies. Yep, that's her. Ooh, my lord. Yeah, that
You know
woman
what?
she is sometimes
Brad
just too
Pitt.
much.
Brad Pitt is another movie star.
Oh, Brad Pitt, you're right.
Angela Jolie is also another movie star.
But she hasn't done anything recently. I think she's not making movies.
I mean, she's just with Disney right now with Marvel and Maleficent.
What's she done recently?
The most recent thing she done was
I'm on IMDb right
Eternals.
now. Oh yeah, she was in Eternals. That's right. Maleficent.
And then was Maleficent. But right now she's doing Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh, okay. She was, dude, man. There was a time, man, when she was just the thing in Hollywood, like just everything, in Hollywood.
I mean,
Isla
the
Fisher's
reason why
Kisses. Caden, we're going to stop the show and we're going to find this scene. We're going to find this scene and we're going to watch it. And Pride Month starts in a couple of days, so in honor of Pride Month, we're going to watch the scene where Isla Fisher kisses Gal Gadot. You know what? I'm just going to Google that. Isla Fisher kisses Gal Gadot, and we're going to watch it. Fisher kisses, whatever. Kisses Gal Gadot. It's actually Gadot, but, Oh, 53 seconds. Mm-hmm. Can we get copyright struck for this?
I think so.
I don't want to cause too much trouble. But let's see if we can find a Google image. Isla Fisher kisses, and yes, this is what we do on Ivan with Jack. But I've never seen this. I guess I have to. There's a lot of movies I got to catch up with. But Gal Gadot did something with The Rock for Netflix. I think Ryan Reynolds was in that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There was a movie where they did Gal Gadot and The Rock were in a movie on Netflix. It wasn't particularly good. Red Notice. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was with Ryan Reynolds as well.
Yeah. Any good?
It's one of those stupid action movies where you can.
Okay.
Where I think
here we go, guys. Just enjoy this. There we go. Let's zoom in on a couple of these. Sorry, Caden. You forgot how immature I can be, but here we go. Look at that look on her face after kissing Gal Gadot. That's what I'd imagine it's like. Look at there we go. This is gonna be my new background moving forward. If we continue to ever do this show, that's gonna be my new background as opposed to what I have now. Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is in the Fast and Furious saga. He was in Hobbs and Shaw. He was actually pretty funny. I mean, he's always funny, but he was pretty funny in that as well.
To me, Hobbs and Shaw is out of the first 3 Fast and Furious movies.
Mm-hmm.
Then Hobbs and Shaw is probably the best Fast and Furious movie.
You know what my personal guilty pleasure Fast and Furious movie is?
Is it Tokyo?
Yeah. I just saw these movies recently, 4 years ago. I wasn't into them.
Tokyo was good.
I think that's a great movie, and I think it has a great character. I think it has a good villain. It's subdued. It's just about racing and this kid who's completely out of place. It makes Tokyo seem really cool. Tokyo itself becomes a character. That's something that's not really done in films anymore.
How do you feel about Too Fast, Too Furious?
I've only ever seen it once. If you are a fan of that show, Yellowstone, the guy who's the head rancher in that show is the bad guy in that movie. You would never guess. I only saw it once. But Ava Mendes, oh boy, in that movie. But that movie gave us Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris, right?
Yeah.
That was one that introduced them. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
in that sense, I give it a pass because it connects. They're a great dynamic duo. In this whole thing. So
He gave us Tej and Roman, which
yeah,
I think Tej, other than um Hobbs and Shaw, is one of the greatest characters in Fast.
they're talking about spin-offs for this. I would love a Tokyo Drift too. Like, and in that one, you can do the cast from Tokyo Drift, bring Tej into it. Don't bring everyone, not Vin Diesel and Michelle
No,
Rodriguez.
just bring Tej back to it.
Yeah. And like
Roman,
and have them. Oh, the Yakuza have done something, and whatever.
Since
I don't know.
Han is back, you can be like, okay, let's go back to Tokyo.
Let's go back to Tokyo. Very good. Or who the bad guy in that movie, DK? He was that jerk kid.
Brian Tai.
Yeah, he's now the new head of the Yakuza because like 20 years have passed, and the actor who was Sonny Chiba, he's passed away. Now he's in charge of the Yakuza, and he's creating problems. And now there's so many ways you can do that. And
if they do Tej and Han, and Roman, I honestly, like, if it wasn't for Ludacris's like performance in Too Fast, and Paul Walker's, it would been an all right movie. But Too Fast, Too Furious, I think is a good fast movie.
Yeah, it's not bad. I've enjoyed all of them, as ridiculous as they get. Even driving down the dam, I'm like, whatever. I'm all good. Thoughts on Hellboy, the Cookman new movie? Is this a new movie for Hellboy?
Yeah, the Crooked Man. It's a new Hellboy. Like, it's not Ron Perlman, it's not DK Harbour or David Harbour. It's this
Jim Hopper from
yeah, it's not him.
Okay, from Stranger Things. Oh, I didn't know that. I still haven't seen those movies, any of them. I know Guillermo del Toro did them, but like I don't, know any of it. But listen, we've done an hour and 15. I gotta wake up in the morning and do a barbecue, but I think we lost everyone. We had 14 at our peak, and then we lost everyone talking about Hobbs and Shaw and Fast X, which ironically, if we were still doing Giant Mo Jack, is what we would have been talking about on Tuesday. Hey, see, Fast X, it was stupid. Yeah, it was really stupid. It was like the Infinity War of the Fast Few series. Oh, by the way, Jason Momoa was so fun in that movie.
I heard people were saying this is the funnest that they've seen Jason have.
Yeah, he's having fun with it. He's having fun with it, and God bless him.
Jason Momoa's Joker performance.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that, a little bit of Alex DeLarge from Clockwork Orange, a little bit, just him having fun, and him on the bike and singing, just great. Oh, by the way, my dad got me a Dominic Toretto cross, which I do wear because I think it's all about family. By the way,
how many times does Dom say family in Fast X?
About family, But he is. There's a misnomer that he's a bad actor because he plays kind of like a silent type in the Fast movies. He talks like this. He does it on purpose. You watch like Boiler Room or any of his other movies, he doesn't talk.
I think Vin Diesel is not a bad actor, but not like the greatest.
No, he reminds me of Steven Seagal. Like, people like him being a big, strong, silent type, and there's an appeal for that type of actor. Where you just want him to play that, like, they're cool, they're calm, they're collected, and every scene they're in, they're just so badass. You know what I mean? The Steven Seagal, not now, but like 30 years ago when he came, like he said, the ponytail, and he was always like this in every scene he was in. He didn't really show emotion, but that's why we liked him, because he's a manly man who doesn't show emotion. And the same thing with Vin Diesel. Like, that's that appeal. Whether it was the Triple X movies or whatever, Fast and Furious, we want to see him just kind of play that kind of like vaguely Hispanic, tough, wears a wife beater, kind of Christian guy. The women love him because he's got a kobold. Just love that about him. And, it's just whatever. We're not expecting him to, be anything serious. But,
yeah.
Anyway, thanks for doing this with me, man. I think we're I think we're at our end here. I have nothing else to say, but I just wanted to. I was so happy to just jump on here. They didn't take it. The 90s of Steven Seagal. Oh yeah. Above the Law, Marked for Death, Hard to Kill, Under Siege. One of my favorite movies actually of his is one that just bombed at the box office called Fire Down Below. It's got a great soundtrack. It's all like Kentucky music. But yes. Well, no, it was a decision to cut Batman vs Superman to 2.5 hours and make it to release the Ultimate Edition. The movie still has plenty of issues, but I think that would have gone over better with critics and fans. The fate of Zack Snyder's films were sealed back in March of 2016. It sucks, but you should still sit back and enjoy what's coming. Whether it's James Gunn's Superman, whether it's Matt Reeves' Batman 2, don't be those fans that are just holding on to the past so much. It sucks, but let's do this. Yeah, I had fun. Oh yeah, when he's like overweight and stuff like that. I think they ended the show because he did a raid and it killed a dog. And like they have to end the show, but like his movies right now are so awful. If you ever guys get a chance to look up people watching his current movies, which are direct to video, he's like really pro Putin and stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of Vladimir Putin. He's a great leader. He's probably the greatest leader right now. And I'm like, damn, man. But yeah, I saw that. You know what? I'm excited for.
He's a special representative for Russia.
Yeah,
and U.S. cultural links.
He's a great actor. He just does this now. But real quick, I'm excited for Rebel Moon just because Zach's not writing it. I know he's better when he has a different writer. And it's the people, one of the writers is from 300. I'm like, good. Just Zach, stay away from the script. Direct. Do the visual. Let the writer do the storytelling. And I think it's a great way to end the show. What do you think, Hayden?
Yeah.
You know what? That's all I am. Sure. I'm not invested in the MCU right now. I'm not invested in Star Wars right now. I'm not invested in DCEU. The last thing I was invested in was Star Trek Picard, and I was just happy as a fan to see that happen. He's the expert at everything. He practiced this thing for 30 years. Have you ever seen that footage of Steven Seagal dancing?
No.
Okay. Now we know how we're going to end the show. So he was in, I think, the Czech Republic. And the beautiful women were dancing. And, like, he's really popular over there. And I found it. He just decided to start dancing with her. And the incredible confidence he dances with, it's kind of like when I'm drunk and I think I'm dancing really well, but I'm really not. If he's co-writing, as long as he has a writer to kind of keep him, but here we go. I'm not going to play the music because it get copyright, but this is it. This is real. And she just tries to get away from him and go back. Hey, Kate, I'm thinking of doing my birthday next year in Vegas. He's doing it with such confidence. See, he's an expert on dancing, Jordan. He's an expert at dancing.
God.
He's been learning those moves for 40 years. But, yep. That's Sensei Seagal. He's a joke, yeah. I mean, he had a couple of good movies, but oh, what can you do? Did we ever have a closing tagline for this show? Because I'm still tempted to say we do it for you and we do it for the culture, but that's not our thing.
No. I think the joke was you start saying that and then you say,
I'll say everything. All right. Well, I have no idea when I'm ever going to do this again, but I want to thank Caden for being here. You know what I want to do, Caden? You're not too far from Vegas. I'm hoping to do a trip within the next year to Vegas, and I would love if you and me just showed up at Austin's house. What's he gonna do? Like, he'll be mad at us or whatever. Is this? Hold on. Do we still have it?
I just want to see some tongue. I just want to see some. I'll pay for it. Just give me some tongue.
Get the tongue in.
Happy birthday to you.
my god.
For you don't know the story about that one. That's
on you.
Yeah, I've seen that one where he's like just sitting in a chair the whole time, and then when they show him walking, it's like a body double. Yeah, hopefully we're just gonna keep doing it until things get back to normal. We'll just keep doing it. You know what? He did one good movie with DMX called Exit Wounds. That wasn't too bad, but we don't have an outro for this. But I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. This was completely unplanned. We did this, to kind of support Enosh. And just let's go live. Let's talk about why, things are rough for so many of us. Life sucks. We're just here to, keep you entertained. Remember that superheroes are always about fighting through the hard times. When things suck, there's tragedy, there's loss, they keep moving. And they are great, even though their times are not. And that is why we need superheroes. Folks, I have no idea when we'll be back again, but I want to thank you for being here. And we love you, and we hope to see you guys soon. Peace out.
Get jiving.